Hey everyone, Tommy from TechNexus, and thanks for joining me in today's video. We've gone through Revit architecture, Revit structure, and today we're going to look at the systems tab. So I've got a 2020 project here, and I've used the standard out-of-the-box mechanical template. And then what I wanted to do is spend a bit of time today just going through each of the different options here and doing some modeling, and then talking about what you can do, and sort of talk about best practices with some of these products, in particular the piping side. So starting from the left, we've got duct, so rigid, round, rectangular, or oval, and again I use the out-of-the-box duct, so in case you're following, you can follow along with me, and there you can see we have that duct there, and it's automatically placed the fittings as well. And if I switch to 3D, then we have it there. If you wanted to do the same thing but go vertically, it's a little bit of a change, but we now let's put this at 0, and then when I do run my duct, so I'm just going to run it let's say 2 meters, and now I want to go up 2 meters. So I change the elevation, and you can see it puts the vertical run there, and it puts me back into a horizontal. So now you can see I've got my flanged bends going in the vertical rather than the horizontal. Okay, so that's the ductwork. Like everything, if you need to, you can come in here and have a look at different. Let's do segmented. Okay, so again, that's just one of the families that you've got in there. It's under a supply air system. You can obviously go through and change those there as well. Any other duct fittings you want to put in there? So there's a whole bunch that will be included in the template, and plus you can load other ones. Any other duct accessories? So they might be sort of, maybe you consider them sort of inline items, and if you hover your mouse over that button, a video comes out, and you can see that on that video they're putting another sort of an inline fitting in there as well. And we can also convert a piece of ductwork to flex. And beside that, we do have flex. So then I can just come through and put in flexible, duct, or even, I don't know if you want to call it hose. It might be something you want to put in there. So if I go flex and then I change it to, let's go 3-inch. So again, might be something you want to put in there, maybe as hose to represent hose. And there's also air terminals, but again, there's a whole bunch that are included in there, and you can just come in and grab your own, or grab them from a manufacturer's website if they've got their own as well. So I always say that to everyone, if they are going to be using Revit, to have a look at the manufacturer's website. They might have a lot of their families already loaded. Now we get into the fabrication part. This is the linking of Fabrication, CAD, MEP, MEP, and CamDuct into Revit. So if I wanted to load up, let's load up some fabrication parts. Let's have a look at, I want to look at some duct. Duct board and dust extraction. So then when we do place these parts in here, they can be exported back and forth from Fabrication, CAD, MEP, and they can also be sent out to MEP or CamDuct as well. So if you're doing something like this duct board, you can send this out to CamDuct. It'll unfold it and it'll nest it on the various sheets that you need to supply for the duct board. So if that's the kind of work you do, then do have a look at this fabrication side of things inside Revit as well. So I'm just going to put in a couple options there, so you can see, can rotate it. Okay. And then ultimately, like I said, we can use under the add-ins tab here, we can import and export this job as an MAJ file and send it out to one of those 3 other products in there as well. Okay. If we go back to systems, there's also multi-point routing in there as well. So I'll just let that video play. and we can just do automatic runs by clicking points in the model. So kind of, I think Advanced Steel has something similar where you're just sort of clicking around the model, and it'll just start putting the elements in there as well. Now, this one is a bit of a sort of an issue that over the last couple of years, since BIM 360 Team was, I don't know, like in inverted commas, sort of retired, but not. You can still get it. You can still use plant collaboration with it, but it's all got to do with subscribing to BIM 360 Design, and then having your access sort of reinstated for BIM. You sort of, I guess, need to apply for it. If you're on LinkedIn, have a look for a guy called Roland Legnon. I think his nickname is Buddy as well online. And he's got a great article that shows you how to enable BIM 360 Team to let the p&id modeler work through the cloud within Revit. But having said that, I still don't like the idea of using piping in Revit because it doesn't traditionally do a fabrication drawing like you would in Plant. But if you are doing p&ids for building services, and you want to do the piping in Revit for those building services, then this might be a good link. And what I'll do in the description below, I will place a link to Buddy's article showing you how to do that as well. So again, it's something I don't know if too many people would do. I think it was something they were excited about over at Autodesk, but it just ended up sort of dying, for want of a better word. Moving on through the ribbon, we've got mechanical equipment here. So again, same thing, you can come in here and there's the settings for it, but if we need to load any mechanical equipment, so what have we got in here? Let's have a look. An air handling unit, and I switch to 3D, and then there it is there. So again, it just depends on what you're doing on the project, whether you have a need or a want for mechanical equipment. Go back to my layout, piping. So again, this is where I sort of question about using piping, but I guess if it's required for building services and you're working with architects, then go for it. But you're not going to get spill drawings or fabrication drawings out of it. We can cut views out of this. We can still get schedules out, but we're not going to be doing PCFs or isometrics out of this as well. So like I said, I wouldn't be using it for oil and gas. I'd be more inclined just to keep it for building services. Moving on from that, we've got parallel pipes, pipe fittings, elbows, T's, Y's, all sorts of bits and pieces, pipe accessories, so valves, and again, similar to Plant 3D, we can put the valves in there. So I'm just going to do another pipe run, make sure I pick the right size. So I've got the 3-inch pipe there, and I'm just going to run this again. And then I'm going to show putting in a pipe accessory. So we've got a ball valve. It's an 80mm ball valve, and then there it is. So again, similar functionality, probably a little bit more detailed than what the Plant guys will be used to. But again, have a think about using piping in Revit as a substitution for Plant 3D. And similar to the duct, we got flex pipe. So we've got flex pipe and we've got flex duct. Any other plumbing fixtures? So toilets, sink island, there's a water closet. Let me just switch to this mode. Water closet, flush valve, wall mounted, any other sinks, all that kind of stuff as well in there if you really needed it. Any other sprinklers. And then moving into electrical, we've got the wiring. So I'll just hover my mouse over that just so I can let the tooltip load. So drawing arced wire runs, if it's something that you need to do for the project and it satisfies a need, then again have a look at doing the wiring runs. We've got cable trays, so similar to I guess the duct, placing cable tray and any other fittings. So I can come in here and do, let's see if we can fit a reducer in here. Yeah, so again, you can just go through and change and adjust all of these in here as well. So I've gone from different sizes. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so again, it just really depends on sort of what you need to do on the project there as well. Conduit. So you can go through and change the diameter sizes, the elevations, all that kind of stuff as well. But, you know, like everything that I demonstrate, you'll need to work out if there's a need to place conduit on your project there. Parallel conduits, any other cable tray fittings, and any other conduit fittings as well. Scrolling through the electrical side as we progress, so any other panels or switchgear that you need to place, if they are loaded. So this one doesn't have any families, so what I'll do is look up electrical and look up equipment. So distribution, so there's electrical panels in there. And this, again, this is the out of the box and any other outlets as well. So once you do load the families in there, they'll be available to you. Any other devices will be in there, lighting, nurse call, security. So if you are doing hospital work, a lot of these icons might be relevant for you. And we've got lighting fixtures as well. And if we click on that little arrow down the bottom there, we've got the electrical settings. So if, again, you're an electrical person inside Revit, a lot of this will apply to you there as well. And then lastly, component. So component will be something, you know, that isn't classified inside any of these systems. It might be just its own little product for whatever reason. So you'll stick it all in there and then, you know, start modeling to your heart's content. So that's kind of a quick, brief overview of Revit and the MEP side of things. If you have any questions or queries, please do make comments in the comment list below, and I'd be happy to answer them, or maybe make another video of it explaining what it might be that you're after. But feel free to dig into to the system side of Revit, have a play with it, try and break it, and then see if it's something that you will need on your project. So thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't. Please do subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon for daily notifications of all of my videos. And I will see you next week for some more Autodesk 2020. I haven't decided. I might maybe do a little bit of Civil 3D with InfraWorks and sort of getting started with a lot of those tools. But yeah, I will see you on Monday. So thanks again. See you later.